And I have to ask in our last couple of minutes here, each one of you, do you have a favorite part of Allerton or something that you would recommend as a must-see before people take a hike home?
Yeah. If you are a big hiker and like to be outdoors and find new spots, my favorite place is on the south side of the park on the McDonald family trails. They're part of our older, more mature timber. There's big oak trees, hickories, maples, especially in the fall when all the maples turn that nice yellow, orange color. It's just perfect. And you can make it a small hike, less than a couple miles, or you can make it a half-day trip to where you're walking the full 6 to 7 miles and picnicking and enjoying all those nice mature trees with the fall color. And the spring too, it's nice and quiet and all the birds migrating through and get to see it change throughout the year. That's what I like most about my job too, is seeing how it changes.
Sounds very picturesque. What about you?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I would say, I have a couple young kids, and I like to, if we can, have an experience to stay overnight in the mansion and just extend the time here. I feel like a lot of times people want to come out and say, what can I see in an hour, or what should I see? And it really warrants more time than that, I think. So I think my advice would be kind of just to take your time, and if you can't spend the night and make a weekend of it, but maybe plan for another visit, because there are the formal gardens, which are kind of deserve their attention, but then also the wooded areas. And one of my favorites is the centaur that's out in the middle of the woods, and it's kind of like not something that you would expect to find. And so I guess I would just say try to take time and wander around and just take it all in if you can.
And before we take a quick break, is there any way for folks to give back, help clean up, things like that here at Allerton?
Yeah, we do have a lot of volunteer opportunities. Just in the gardens, in the natural areas. We have the Allerton Allies, our group that have been volunteering in the natural areas for years, and I'm sure would welcome help. They meet, I think, the first Saturday of the month. And then other volunteer opportunities would be helping out with concerts. We have photographers that volunteer, people that have kind of adopted a garden, and so they, get together about once a week and help with weeding and upkeep in the gardens. And then I guess financially, my job here is to do our fundraising, and so just to let people know that it is a free public park, but we do depend on donations to kind of keep things how we want them to be. There were years where Allerton kind of wasn't taken care of as well, and so we want to make sure that in the future we have kind of sustainable funding. So we're building endowments and asking people to, when they visit, we have donation boxes around that they can drop a few dollars in. When they come to an event, they have an opportunity to give back, and then we have some very generous donors who have helped with larger projects that really wouldn't be possible without the support of the community. So that's really important.
And I know it's something that we've kind of shared in our other episodes, but I'll say it, leave no trace. So if you're going to any of these natural areas, be sure to pick up your trash, because it's just as much your park as it is theirs.
And we do our prescribed burns. So our prescribed burns are one of our easiest and biggest tackles on invasive plants, because these plants aren't tolerant of fire. So when we have a nice slow hot fire in the fall or in the spring, it'll top kill those plants, and they won't come back.
Do you have folks come in to do the prescription burn, or do you have a direct hand in that?
It's me and Nate Becky, who's also in the natural area. So it's us two, and then we have volunteers as well that come out and help if we need a couple of extra set of hands.
Wow.
But it's a lot of fun. That's one thing I look forward to, because it really is. It's one of our biggest tools on tackling these, large stands of invasive species.
Yeah, the difference from one side of the trail to the other is crazy.
And this is what most of this woods looked like. It was just a mess of, you couldn't even walk through it. You have all of these natives here that birds will eat the seeds off of, butterflies, bees, good pollinators. All of this is Joe Pye weed, or this is pokeweed. This is one of our natives. You can see in the back. Lots of berries, lots of good food for our native birds and animals that utilize the woods.
I have to ask, is that a non-safe for humans kind of berry?
Yes,
Probably.
So this is one of those that it is toxic to humans.
Okay.
Yep, one of the few.
Yeah, there's so much diversity out here.
And so our main goal with areas like this that are, you know, it's kind of like a clean slate. You can see it's really open. This will allow that sunlight to get to the ground and those nice oaks and hickories to come up and kind of, you know, take over compared to the invasives.
And I'm sorry, were you saying this side of the park is where there are older trees or younger trees?
It's kind of a mix. There's
Okay.
there are some trees that have been here a little bit longer, but most of this is less than 100 years old.
Gotcha.
To where we have parts on the south side of the park and on the north side as well that you'll see, you know, 200 plus year old oak trees that have been here for quite some time.